what do you make of the challenges for the BOJ? What is their number one question that investors want answered? Is it inflation, or is it just simply, will Governor Kuroda stay on after his term ends in 2018?
Well, I think the top of mind question for many investors that we speak with is what is the kind of the end game for this so-called yield curve control, quantitative easing framework, and asset purchase program. Of course, you mentioned the other question, which is, will Kuroda stay on as central bank governor here post his expiration of next April? But the number one question is, how much longer can the Bank of Japan sustain the current program? For what it's worth, our view is because they've set their inflation target quite high and ambitious at 2%, it is quite likely that they will persist with the current framework, including both yield curve control as well as the asset purchases that they are currently executing. Having said that, we are also of the view that there are some signs of inflation beginning to creep through, some green shoots, wages are beginning to pick up, inflation expectations are creeping a little bit higher. While not the 2% that the Bank of Japan is aiming for, we are definitely going to start to see some increasing signs of inflation, we think, in the next 6 to 12 months down the road.
But Kathy, by again delaying the time for hitting their price targets or their price goals, is the BOJ effectively acknowledging that they'll need to continue easing for many years to come?
It would appear so. And so we don't know exactly how long that will be. And again, a lot will ride on whether Kuroda stays or leaves post next spring. But for the time being, the fact that they did delay or postpone the timeline for reaching their target inflation level, obviously the market is interpreting that as more for longer. And so I think we're seeing a divergence of central banks, the Fed and the ECB on the one hand, versus the Bank of Japan is probably going to continue this quite aggressive stimulus program, at least for the foreseeable future.